Moving on to the next tab, you're going to notice some terminology here. It looks very familiar to the E2. It's almost exact. So in this case, we've got the name of our suction group. It's that MT plus 20 degrees category. It's refrigeration. That's on the main page where our category is refrigeration. So if you really want, you can move it around the different categories. Strategy, we'll keep it in normal. These are kind of common E2 application configurations terminology. So it's, if you've tinkered with an E2, a lot of this stuff you'll kind of feel right at home. Number of stages, yeah, whatever. We'll put 3 on it. Let's pick a gas. 448 mid, why not? Phase protect by default on. Compressor always on. Yeah, keep it all off. Again, you got a little tooltip. Let's say if you don't really know what comp on always means, you can hit the question mark on the right-hand side, and it'll give you a little more info. Aside from the individual tooltips, the help guide built into it is pretty heavy. You have various categories you can look up, or you can just enter kind of keywords. Enable flow, we'll keep all this off. So this, again, this is kind of common to an E2. Move on to set points. I don't know, plus 20 degrees, 448. I'm going to take a wild guess. Let's say 38 pounds. I'm sure that's...
I was going to say 43.
43, perfect. We'll leave the pressure deadband as it is. Hit save. Inputs. All right. Where is my suction pressure sensor? So something a lot of people will probably miss when they first dive into an E3 or site supervisor is how do you get the inputs? Whenever you're on the input or output tabs rather, we have these green arrows everywhere. Green arrows are drop-down menus, and just it opens up more options. So in this case, being that it's an input and our drop-down menu, it gives us a pointer where we're getting the sensor, or it being if it's a logic input. In this case, the 16EI number 1 is the board that we're getting it from, and 01.01 MT suction pressure is the pressure sensor that we configured. The next one below that, it's an override. That's how you would override the point if you truly want to. In this case, I'm not gonna worry about putting in an override. Let's say suction temp. What point do we want to go on? Let's say I'm going to go on 16 AI number 1. I'm going to go on number 5. I did not configure it yet. You can see on 1 and 2 that I set up as pressure sensors. It's telling you type mismatched. The values, the parameter is looking for a temperature value, and so we can't take PSI value and put it in its place. So I'm going to take number 5. It's unconfigured, and it's going to prompt you to configure the input like we kind of did earlier for the pressure inputs. Analog 01, 05. Well, if I actually type 01, 05 suction temperature. Yep, confirm. Discharge temp will do the same thing real fast. Six.
Way easier than the E2.
Oh man, it really is. Especially when you get into like copy paste on the computer. I know you can do that with ultrasite and stuff, but
yeah, I mean ultrasite is
way
slower than this.
It's ultrasite's. It's been around for a while. Yeah, I've had in the past site supervisor. So site supervisor essentially is the same kind of software as an E3, but it's screenless. It's just a piece. It's just a component that mounts on a piece of DIN rail. I've had it on a job before where I've had a Raspberry Pi as the interface to a site supervisor. It worked.
Come on.
All you need is a browser, right? So it's I had what's it called, Chromium. connect to an IP address. Boom, you're done.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
I wish
pretty.
I was that smart.
It's cheap too.